Exhumation to resume and bid to identify Tulsa Race Massacre victims. Look, we talked about this last week with the Emmett Till getting a statue in a movie. And we said they keep these type of stories in the media with a purpose. Is it actually to get justice, or is it keep that trauma on you?
It's trauma.
Because you ain't talking
trauma
about
sales.
You're not talking about the reparations that the people who survived are asking for.
Yeah, because the reparations you offered them, they said,
they
hell to the no. To the no.
You're not talking about the reparations that they're asking for. You're talking about identifying more victims.
Are you identifying these victims so that you can give their family the reparations?
Exactly. No. You're doing it to just keep this in the news. Some of the 19 bodies taken in Tulsa Cemetery and later reburied that could include remains of victims in the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre will be exhumed again starting Wednesday, part of a bid to gather more DNA for possible identification. Now, they're saying they're trying to figure out who the people are. Once again, if you identify who they are, is there going to be any sort of justice, a justice claim that their descendants can get?
They're going to have to look into a study for it.
You're going to do this, get all these names. They're going to have a ceremony with the family members. They're going to put all this stuff out, and then they're going to say, we need a study to give these people what they deserve, and then nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, that's how the game goes.
The latest examination of bodies, some of which were taken last year from Oaklawn Cemetery in northeastern Oklahoma. By the way, whatever happened to the whole, wasn't Native Americans awarded half of Oklahoma?
Over half the state.
Including Tulsa?
Yeah, Tulsa is one of the places.
So what happened with that?
The Native Americans are investigating the situation.
And what's crazy is they were awarded half the state because they had a case where a Native American man allegedly assaulted a woman, and when the state tried to prosecute him, the Native American tried to step in and said he was on Native land when he committed these crimes, this alleged crime. So they were actually defending a man.
He's a sovereign citizen
who did something illegal. They used that to get the land.
Well, no. According to the American laws, it's illegal what he did. We don't know what the laws for the indigenous, quote unquote, Mongoloids laws
indigenous Mongoloids. Let me keep going. There was 14 of the 19 bodies that fit criteria for further DNA analysis, according to the city spokesperson, Michelle Brooks. These are the ones that will be re-exhumed. The 14 sets of remains were sent to Intermountain Forensics in Salt Lake City, Utah, in an attempt to identify them. Brooks said 2 sets will have enough DNA recovered to begin sequencing. It wasn't immediately clear how many of the 14 would be exhumed at second time. Brooks said the remains will be reburied in Oaklawn, but the previous reburial drew protests from about 24 people who said they were descendants of massacre victims and should have been allowed to attend the ceremony, which was closed to the public. So what, you dug up these people's bodies the first time, buried them, didn't allow the family to be there.
Then dug them up again.
Now you digging them up again? Jesus Christ.
We don't play with the dead.
Damn. Intermountain Forensics is seeking people who believe that the descendants of massacre victims to provide genetic material to help scientists when they begin trying to identify remains of possible victims. It will be followed by another search for bodies in the area south and west of the areas previously excavated in 2020 and 2021. None of the remains recovered thus far are confirmed as victims of the massacre, in which more than 1,000 homes were burned, hundreds were looted, and thriving business district known as Black Wall Street was destroyed. So they're trying to say there's only 75 to 300, but we've heard a number way higher than that.
Yes.
So what is going to come from this? I don't get it. You keep digging these people up, reburying them for no reason, it seems.
Playing with the dead.
It's crazy.
Let them rest.
They let them rest.
They've gone.
What's done is done at this point, especially when they're already in the ground. Almost every black, unless you're going to give reparations. Let me say that. Almost every black officer at this Tennessee Police Department says they experience discrimination. If you are a black officer, you have to work 5 times harder. One officer anonymously told an outside review firm.
That doesn't mean you're in shape. They ain't giving y'all donuts. Instead of using police cars, y'all got to run the victims down.
Yeah, they don't happen no more. Almost all
you look athletic.
You the ones that got to run. That's why they hired you. You the runners. Almost all 15 black officers of the police department of Knoxville, Tennessee have felt discriminated against according to the external review of the department, and none of them thinks the promotional process is fair either. The recent release review was conducted by 1CP Solutions, a consulting company that specializes in improving policing. It was commissioned by Knoxville Police Department new chief Paul Noel, who took over the role in June. The findings come at the heels of years of allegations, scrupulously colored by Knoxville News Sentinel, of racist behavior in the department, which serves a town with more than 180,000 people, and leadership had attempted to conceal an officer's racist comments and deter a black officer from making a complaint about the incident. The controversy was indicative of a larger problem of racism in the department, multiple officers told Knox News at the time. Mason, I think it was Mason, was back in the news, Mason, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They found out one of the officers, Caucasian, had racist tweets. And I'm like,
they surprised?
I agree. How are you surprised? And it's like, it's constantly being proven that maybe it's time for you to get rid of the police, and the city should pay for their own private security for the city.
Oh, it's time to get rid of the police?
And have your own private security. That's what the Jews do. Speaking of, we were talking about them later.
So you would defund the police.
That's not defunding, that's replacing.
So your motto is replace the police.
Bro, you got officers with racist shit. How I'm supposed to walk around with the cops supposedly serve and protect, and they got shit on Twitter talking shit about me? Let alone the private messages.
So you think black people should police their own community?
I've been saying, yeah. Okay, now you're just asking the question just to ask. Okay, you missed the journalist. Okay,
well, there are some blacks prejudiced towards their own people too.
How bad? Oh, so now you're talking about what's that movie? Menace to Society. The dude came with a gun.
Think you tough?
Oh, you talking about Don't Be a Menace? I hate my gums because they black. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips.
You doing the funny part. Don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm doing menace to society. No, that wasn't menace to society. That was Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, that was Boys in the Hood. You menace Boys in the Hood.
You think you tough? When they came to his house
after he shot someone breaking his house. Yeah.
When they pulled him over, him and his friend.
No, you talking about? See, you mixing up Don't Be a Menace and Boys in the Hood right there.
Okay. Don't try to take me out of line, dude.
No,
it was boys in the hood.
The cops came when he shot.
It was a scene. No, that was when he was a little boy. The scene
when
the person tried to rob his father's house.
Yeah.
He had seen him again in the future he was with Trey.
Yeah.
When they got pulled over.
Yeah. I know you're talking about that. Yeah, you're right.
And he was always crying.
He's trying to be tough. You think you tough?
Well, yeah, there's some black people that are prejudiced.
I would much rather a private black, well, I won't even say black, a private security force over my city that my taxes can pay for. I mean,
Shannon Sharp said the only time you see a black woman in his arm is she holding it for the police.
Now, why you bring that up? We're not talking about Shannon Sharp. Why you bring that up? You just wanted to get that off, didn't you? I can't believe
that Negro said that.
You want to get that one off, didn't you?
Ooh. Trauma. That's trauma.
Yeah. He done been through some
childhood trauma, adult trauma.
Yeah. The news economy assessment relies on focus groups and an anonymous survey in which almost all the department's roughly 360 sworn officers and most of its about 100 non-sworn personnel responded. The survey was open for 2 weeks at the beginning of August. The results offer a rare, bare-bones look at the department's internal culture and point a stark picture of ongoing racial divides. If you are a black officer, you have to work 5 times harder, and officers will always second-guess you, an anonymous officer says in the report. And another one says, when applying for posted positions in training, if more than one black officer apply for the job that has multiple open slots, only one black officer will get selected and the other one will be told to wait until the next posting.
They can't have
called, what they call that?
Gatekeeping.
No, what they call that? What's called hiring? Percentage-based hiring.
Okay.
I only got to hire one of you per opening. I only got to hire one of you per, what's it called? Like, that's how this is why, and a lot of people might not agree with this. I know you do. Do you believe in getting rid of affirmative action?
Yes.
Because if you get rid of it and they don't hire you, it is what it is. Now you're not just the one token person at the damn job.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Only about
you don't have to worry about other immigrants and minorities taking things too. So
Well,
it's just all as a
only about a third of the department's 15 black sworn officers said they felt they have a voice within the organization or that the supervisors are receptive of their concerns or feedback. The report shows 12 said they felt the organization discriminated against them because of their race. Black officers were also least likely to say they felt there was a clear process for de-escalating problems internally. Yeah, it's funny. Y'all can talk.
They don't de-escalate problems out on the street.
Yeah, why would you do it internally? Remember that video of the dude who was about to beat up on the dude in the car, and the woman tried to stop him. He turned around and choked her. She was a female cop, and the cop choked her. I think he was not the chief. He was he was over her, some type of supervisor over her.
He had to put that rage somewhere. He's trying to.
The steroid induced. That's why the highest level of domestic violence is amongst police officers and their wives, or police officers and their husbands. The women are violent too.
Yeah,
the female cop
case with a female.
Yeah, female cop will put hot rounds or beat on her husband too. Like, it is what it is. I don't know, man. If they'll beat on a significant other, what do you think they're gonna do to the regular Joe walking down the street? They see Jamal, they see Jake, they see.
when you had that power where you believe you above the law,
yeah, you
just feel that you can do anything and say anything and put hands and foot on people.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game. That's why I said private police force. Smiley, what up, man? There are goals and we are fuel for their satisfaction. I knew you were about to say that. Indians are forever getting land and opportunities. Is that true?
What?
Do Indians really get that much opportunities and land? Or are they just constantly ripped off and stolen from?
Are you serious?
I'm asking a question. I'm being a journalist right now.
Yes, they get opportunities in land. The Indians own casinos. Also, the name Indian Affairs. That is Section A.
You know, growing up, we didn't call it Indian Affairs. It was in your fur.
So that's how they talk.
Blacks get surveys. Exactly. They get land, you get surveys. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. The Native American dude, he did a crime and his people got land for it. Think about it for a second. He committed a crime and he got half a state for it. Your ass don't do nothing. You get shot or put in jail. You don't get no land. When they do something wrong to you, your parents or your girl, your wife or something, they might get some money for them killing you.
Yeah, death.
Your death will get something, but you committing a crime and living ain't gonna do nothing for nobody.
It would be laying you in jail.
One line, it will do something for somebody when you go to jail, become a part of the prison industrial complex, and you start doing free labor.
Exactly.
For these corporations, you making cell phones and clothes and shoes and shit in there for them for free. They got
land for you.
You're getting 30 cents an hour, so it's not free, quote unquote.
They got government land for you.
Oh yeah, they got good land for you. 3 square, they call it three hots in the cot. That's
fertile land.
3 hots in the cot for you too. My mom and me agree the media keeps recycling these historical trauma porn to trigger distractions in your conscious mind, keeping you subconscious and chaos, disrupting common sense thinking. Exactly. That's why why are we still, no offense, why are we still talking about Emmett Till?
Because they feel that his crime we could say they're still talking about Emmett Till because they feel that his crime has not, the people have not.
It ain't gonna happen. By the way, I'm not talking about us talking about it. I'm talking about them. Why do they keep talking about it? Because they know nothing's gonna come from it.
It's a joke. It's a laughing.
Then you got the Tulsa situation, Black Wall Street. They know they're not gonna do anything about it.
Another crime
and the fact that
against black people that have not been dealt with.
And they know that Tulsa isn't the only one. It's 1,000 of them across the West Coast that existed. The fact that they only bring up this one, not the one in North Carolina, not the one in Florida, not the one in New York, not the one in Oklahoma, the other one in Oklahoma, lets you know that it's mocking you. Really, it's meant to just keep you in constant, just downtrodden. This man, they just look how they do us, man. I mean, look, as I said, how you said, you need protection, and sometimes it ain't physical. Sometimes your protection is spiritual and mental. Sometimes you got to separate yourself from certain things. Like we talked about this last time. Should you show your kids growing up certain movies? Even if it's a movie you watched and it was good, Should you show your kid Menace to Society?
Why not? It's culture.
Should you show your kids Boys in the Hood?
Why not? It's culture.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying.
Isn't that preparing them for the world?
No, hold on. What am I preparing them for?
Are you saying you're preparing them for trauma?
Exactly.
Okay, then
I'm
let them
preparing
go
you
out
for
in the
trauma.
world and not
Before you
see
even
what the world is and see how it turns out for them.
before you even step foot in the world, I'm telling you, this is the shit they can do to us.
Yeah, they should be aware. They should know.
I'm not saying they shouldn't, but should they know this at 11?
Hold on. We were just having a conversation about the Cosbys and the Fresh Prince.
Oh, see, I know you want to bring this up. See, hold on.
And how
We didn't prepare for this. You're going to extend the show again.
Okay.
This is going to be a 30-minute conversation.
No, it ain't gonna be a 30-minute
All right, go ahead.
conversation.
Go ahead then.
Because I'm straight to the point.
All
I'm
right, say it.
precise. I
Say
don't
it.
beat around the bush and go
Say
down the
it.
block and come up the street.
Say it.
So you're saying that you should not tell.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm asking the question.
Well, I feel like you saying that you shouldn't be showing your kids these movies.
I didn't never
it's
say
already
that. Y'all
preparing
can.
them for
Everybody,
trauma
anybody in the comments who want to. When did I say that? I didn't say that.
before they even enter the world. But you saying with the Fresh Prince with the Cosbys, them growing up in
Hold on, you gotta put context in that.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Context.
them living in Bel-Air, especially Hillary and Carlton, they couldn't go to Compton or Watts because they would not blend in and fit with the people. And you said the Cosbys coming from Manhattan would not be able to go to Harlem or the Bronx. Well, if they see these type of movies and stuff, they've already experienced that part of their community that they're not
true.
around.
We know a whole bunch of suburban people that watch those movies, go to college, and turn into the biggest coon. And a lot of them end up being Democratic shields.
Who?
All those blue checks. They watch those movies.
No, you said they the new blacks.
Yeah.
They get on Twitter.
They suburban. They watch these movies like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, and they think that's black identity. That's not black identity. That's the shit niggas go through.
Well, if that's the shit niggas go through, that would be.
That's not an identity. See, now we're going to another thing.
That is an identity.
Hold on. Now we go through.
Not identity?
Okay. Now we talking about something else. Should you build your identity out of your trauma?
I would say should you build your identity out of your
That's
trauma?
what we're doing when we do that. We're building our identity, who we are, out of the trauma we go through. It's not positive, it's negative. We're building ourselves out of the negative things we go through.
Sometimes you don't be making no damn sense.
Explain.
I'm not trying to have a 30-minute back and
Okay.
forth.
I think that one stumped him.
It didn't stump me. It didn't stump me at all.
Travis deep down don't like blacks but love the bunnies.
That's you, George.
Without affirmative action, you won't be a legal token. Exactly. Google claims African American benefits white women more than anyone else. That's the crazy part. That's why it's funny when they call black women what's the name they put on black women? Welfare queens. And then they brought up black women on stage and said she's a recovered welfare queen.
Well, she did.
She now has a job.
She did it.
That was crazy. The gall to do
I don't feel
it.
sorry for a person that would get up there and do that type of clownery shit.
$5 Indians, exactly.
Mongoloids.
It amazes me how many
And Caucasians.
It amazes me, yeah.
It's crazy.
When we say $5 Indian, we tend to talk about the Mongol. There's a lot of white people. A lot of white people that claim Native American.
Well, they running from their identity.
They're trying to claim heritage in the country so
If
they can.
They be black.
Show your kids what? Show your kids meteor man. Show your kids 5 heartbeats. Show your kids Travis so they know not what to be.
What not what to be. Okay.
Travis going off his feelings. They didn't send me a notification. What up, Tommy? Hey, it is what it is, man. You here now. Bingo. Building identities off trauma. Duke wins. See? African American was affirmative action. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you said African American. Okay, affirmative action. I'm sorry. Travis is not about that rebirth. I'm just saying, should you, when we talk about Tulsa, but always been in the news, Till always been in the news, Martin Luther King getting shot always in the news. It's like, damn.
So you're saying you should show your kids only the positive things of the culture.
I'm not saying
let them go out into the world and experience and have their own experience. A blind eye.
I'm not saying you only show them the positive.
Okay.
I'm saying you have to have balance too, don't you?
Yes, you do have to have balance.
Yeah, okay.
You don't show them everything that's.
And by the way, I'm talking about kids. I'm not talking about when you got a son or a daughter who 19, 20, 22, 20. Like, I'm not saying.
What age we talking about?
I'm talking about 10, 8,
Shit.
9, 10, 11.
These kids walking around here now that 5-year-olds got cell phones.
What that mean? Why they got a cell phone? The parent gave it to them.
That's the parenting, right?
So
I'm talking about those parents who would give their child a cell phone at 5 years old. Should have no problem showing the movies that you just listed.
That don't mean they have to show them the movies.
Shit, why not? They're a 5-year-old on a phone on TikTok.
That's a good point. And there's more dangerous stuff on TikTok.
The little girl gonna be showing her ass by the time she's 7 on TikTok.
Damn. That's real trauma.
That's trauma for the father. That's trauma for the father and mother.
And it's her too, because it's gonna set her up for more trauma in the future. So, you made your point, okay? You made your point.